Hey y'all, how's it going? Alright, so if you're new to my YouTube channel, I want to say welcome. My name is Amber Stew, also known as Jenny Jaguar, and I am the owner of the Stew Project, where I help people maximize their living potential by simply taking an emphasis on wellness. More specifically, I work with people who deal with chronic stress, anxiety, depression, and other chronic health issues, and I help them live the life of their dreams in a body that they love. Now, today, I wanted to talk about the mind-body-heart connection. I know y'all know about the mind-body connection, but I'm about to talk about the mind-body-heart connection because all that stuff's aligned. But it's really interesting. I have been learning about it for a minute. I am a big science nerd, so I'm really excited to talk to you about this. Now, first and foremost, the mind-body concept is crucial to psychology, and it stems from the idea that physical conditions affect the mental health, and also these mental conditions affect your physical health as well. So it's like by duo cross-lateral direction, they both affect each other basically. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, our thought patterns in many ways support our motives for how we act, the way we make choices, and even our beliefs about the world. So although the idea of a mind-body connection used to be like, woo, like y'all be eating mushrooms and just meditating too much, too many yogis and stuff like this, but honestly, these days scientists are not even asking like if there is a mind-body-heart connection, but how they're connected, because it's like, okay, we can't lie about this. But we can't deny this anymore. Like, this stuff is true. But anywho, unlike desires or dreams, our thoughts and emotions, they don't just exist in our mind. They exist in our gut and heart too. And I think it's really cool because our gut and our heart has neurons in them, just like our brain does. When we're talking about your heart, your gut having neurons, so it turns out your heart has 400,000 neurons, your gut has 100 million neurons, and your brain has 100 billion neurons. And all of these work hand in hand, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But anywho, this is partially the reason why we get butterflies in our stomach, or we feel like our heart has dropped, because like these are emotions and feelings that our heart and our gut are feeling. And it's not just in the brain. Our brain isn't sending these signals down to our heart and gut. These signals are going up to our brain. And then we're analyzing those emotions like, oh crap, which is really interesting. But anywho, our body may hold our physical health and our ability to function, but it is the mind that houses our spirit and our motivation to function. So we really need to put both in alignment so that they can work together in harmony, because if you don't have the will to move, your body's not going to move. In the same sense, if your body wants to move but you don't have the will, it's not going to work. Did I do that right? Your brain could want to move but your body won't. And then your body may want to move but your brain won't. And so you'll have these disconnects. But moving right along, with that being said, we have to be careful because our emotions can affect those around us. And this is why I'm so excited to talk about this, because in recent years, neurocardiologists have discovered that the heart has its own independent nervous system, and it sends signals to not only the amygdala, which processes emotions, but it also sends signals to the thalamus, which synchronizes to our high-level thinking, and our cortex and frontal lobe, which does our cognitive processes. So our heart connects to our brain in really crucial areas that dictate our functions, how we analyze situations, and all that good stuff. So it's really, really interesting. And so they call this the heart brain. because the heart, with the signals that it sends, it's completely on its own, and it sends the information to the brain, not from the brain down to the heart. The heart sends the information through those little neurons, those 400,000 neurons, up to the brain. Well, it's probably not that much if you have heart conditions, but send it up to the brain for vital information that our brain depends on to live and survive. And so not only that, but I think this is pretty cool, because our heart brain, when it does this, it produces this electromagnetic field, which is also called the heart field. And so our heart uses this heart field to produce a very strong rhythmic bioenergy pattern, which it sends to every cell in the body. And so it's like a pulse, and it holds on to these higher conscious emotions such as love, generosity, compassion, kindness, gratitude, and dignity and courage. So whenever you're feeling these things, and I know you know what it feels like when someone gives you a pat on the back, when you feel proud of yourself, you feel this energy radiate through your body, and it just feels good. And that is essentially your heart brain signaling out this heart field throughout your entire cells. And it also is believed that this heart field holds space for a deeper wisdom and your intuition. So you know, if you're like, I wasn't gonna go to that party because my heart wasn't in it. I didn't follow up with that guy because my heart wasn't in it. I didn't go back to that job because my heart wasn't in it. This is essentially, well, not essentially, but this can be an explanation as to why these things happen. So ultimately, this heart field creates our authentic selves. And so when we feel ourselves being pulled by this energetic field, by what makes us live and thrive, this helps us become our authentic self. So anywho, getting back to the topic at hand, this rhythmic beating pattern, because it gets juicier, this rhythmic beating pattern of our heart physiologically, when we are in this high vibrational coherent state and we're radiating those good vibes through those positive emotions and thoughts and feelings, our heart and our organs all sync together in line with that same pattern pulse. So essentially all your organs will be going in harmony. So hopefully you get an idea of where this is going. But this means that our respiratory, our digestive, hormone, and brain functions are all working together in a healthy and high performance state, which is absolutely amazing. And this is just by your emotions. This essentially allows us to waste less energy and force in our efforts, and our senses as well as our cognitive functions are sharpened as well. And not only that, our autonomic system functions a lot better too. So in this state, we can navigate through stressful situations with more ease. And so we're less on edge, we're less nervous, and we're just in harmony. You know, you're going with the flow, essentially. So, side note, I thought this was another interesting tidbit. 47% of the day, each and every day, 47% of the time, our minds are wandering. And so this can lead us to focusing on stressful things and other negative emotions. And so this allows the stress and negative emotions to build up. And you know, just like habits can form, like these thoughts can be a habitual thing. And so we're constantly thinking about these. So learning to connect with these emotions sends signals to the brain, and these higher level emotions can allow us to choose different reactions. And so the responses then influence our behavior. And like I said, this is why it is important to stay in this. This is essentially how manifestation works, so to speak. And so The signals we send when we're in these high emotional states, they're a very different signal than what we send when we're in a state of stress and sadness. When we're in stress and sadness, our organs aren't beating at the same drum. It's like some 3-year-olds trying to make a band with some kitchen pots. That's not funny, but essentially that's kind of what happens. But anyway, another amazing thing about the heart brain is that our heart fields actually interact with other people. So it has been scientifically proven that we communicate with one another energetically with our heart brain. And so this is what happens when you're like, man, I don't know, but whenever I'm around you, you just put me in a good mood. You just have good energy. You just have good vibes. And on the flip side, this is also why people are like, oh, she just puts me in a bad mood. You're just a Debbie Downer. Like, this person always coming around. Like, I don't know why this person just Eeyore, just dreary and depressing. Well, you know, if somebody's depressing you, they're probably in a depressed state energetically. So, you might want to help them or open up to them or talk to them or tell them go see a therapist or have them go to stewproject.com to get the Secrets to Happiness workbook. But anywho, back to the subject at hand. When we are in flow and in a state of coherence, and our heart and our emotions and our thoughts, they are all aligned, our heart brain can radiate that energy to others around us. So with that being said, our love can be contagious as well as our stress. So if you are stressed out, you can radiate that stress to other people. And I know I feel other people's energy really easily. And so if you're one of those people that can feel people's energy easily, it's really, really important for you to learn how to recenter yourself and recognize what is coming from you and what you're radiating and what you're picking up on around you. Because I know some people, like, you can walk into a room and be like, man, you can just cut the tension with a knife. Like, this is our energetic field interacting with each other, and that's so cool. But in essence, you being happy can help influence others to be happy as well, which is why it's always nice to smile, to always be pleasant to people. And I think this is why in the South, when you walk past somebody, it's like weird when you don't speak to them. Because I know when I went to San Francisco and I walked by somebody and he was like, oh, like, you must not be from around here because you speak and you look people in the eye, like, you're not supposed to do that. So that just goes to show you that, one, it's important to be aware of who you're around, and also make sure you're in environments that are conducive to your not only mental health but your heart health and your energetic fields. In the same sense, if you're working a job that doesn't give you mental stimulation, or where the values aren't aligned with your moral values, then you may be allowing cognitive dissonance to flourish. So you may be allowing yourself to be around these negative energies and have more discord and unnecessary discord in your life, because it's not necessary. And if it's for money, then you need to find somewhere that you can thrive that will make you feel good, because these feelings are happening for a reason. Either you need to have a group meeting and say, hey, who up in here is giving off these vibes? If you need to sage the whole office, then you got to do what you got to do, because I know I worked a stressful job before and I was miserable, and it wasn't until I set boundaries and I protected my own mental health and my own happiness that I was able to improve my well-being and learn how to address people and set boundaries and not allow people to affect my emotions. And at the same time, I learned how to foster good relationships with individuals who helped put me at peace during those stressful times when I was at work. This is why it's really important to reflect on the activities and the people that make you happy and pursue them at all costs. And so you're not supposed to do this just a fraction of the time, but it's important to do this all the time, like as often as possible. Not just like, okay, I'm gonna do it on the weekends, I'm gonna do it when I get off of work. No, try to find a job that works for you. And this is one of the reasons why my Tap In coaching program helps you ultimately find your life purpose, because we recognize like, hey, it's my job that's making me feel this way, or it's this relationship that's making me feel this way, or this family member that makes me feel this way, or it's this city that's making me feel this way. Like, let me go to where my heart is leading me, because ultimately when you be happier, you create happier situations, you'll create a happier life. So yeah, I could talk about this all day, but if you want to learn more about my services, just go to thestewproject.com. Go to the freebie and quizzes section if you want to learn more about my Secrets to Happiness workbook. So I hope this helps. Please vibrate high, and I will talk to you later.